like top 4. So Empire, if they 2-0 MVP Hot 6, they're tied with VP, which will make a 4th place tiebreaker.
They would have to do that at that point?
Yeah, they would have to have a tiebreaker.
I talked to Hot Forev. It was really sad. He said, Blitz, I'm so sad right now. He said, no more fruitful, which means I'm really sad. And I said, why, Forev? You're at TI. And he's like, these games are so hard. He's just, and he didn't say it in like a, he's just like very kind of not complaining about it, But he's just like, Dota is so hard. I was just like, yeah, man, it is. And it's like, it's a league competition, Just like, yeah. It's like, man, but it's tough being a professional gamer, All of these teams are so good. Just, it's rough. And so he's like, da-da-da-da-da. But, he's getting over it, and he's like, we're just going to try our best for the main event. He knows that they can't get better than last place right now in their thing. He's like, if we just win one best of 3, we can still... Or one best of one,
best of one. I mean, one best of one,
okay.
They get a lot of money still.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of negative to think of it like that, because they're still clearly trying versus Empire. Like, they just got 2 kills in a row on them, but I think part of it is just that they just want to give good games, and it's more just, I think they have a lot of pride. Like, MVP have a ton of pride, but that is not the game that we're casting. It is C-Deck versus E-Home. Both of these teams are quite strong.
I mean, honestly, this is a more interesting matchup to me.
And it's not just because Cap's casting this, and he needs this, guys.
But no, it's just because E-Home, like we talked about it before this game even started, how crazy it is that E-Home, despite the games that we saw that, some of their matches they kind of threw, they had a decent advantage, and they just, like, made some very simplistic mistakes, they still can take top in their group.
They seem really close to being at the top. Like, if you watch them play, all of their games are really close. And then you just kind of think to yourself, like, how did E-Home lose that? That's the thing, is that they play really well for the first 15, 20 minutes of the game, and then sometimes they slip up. I think CTY might be the second best laner I've seen at this tournament, behind
Sumail.
I think Sumail like solo killed him twice, so yeah, that's quite obviously something he struggles with. But when it comes to catching up, does a really good job, and he never seems to have a terrible game. Seems like a godlike 5 to 10 minute player, and then from there, he does rely a lot more on the jungle than most players do.
Well, let's talk about our draft a little bit. We've got a Tusk, Lina, now Queen of Pain. Interesting that the Queen of Pain not picked up in the first 1-2, but now relegated to a 3rd pick for C-Deck. Gyrocopter and Winter Wyvern is the choice for E-Home. Winter Wyvern being frequently picked up versus Tusk. So maybe that's why Queen of Pain has managed to sneak through. Also, the Lina's more single-target pure damage. Do you think that makes her better versus Gyrocopter than the Sonic Wave cone of pure damage?
Yeah. Just, it's weird, actually? I just noticed that Queen of Pain actually got to 3rd. That's absurd.
That's what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
man.
like, I can't even believe that. Like, Techies and Broodmother were banned over Queen of Pain. Like, that's so weird. This is like, this is the meta now. Queen of Pain, one of the most versatile heroes in Dota. And then you've got Techies and Broodmother, because those are the heroes that you really don't want to play against. Like, of all the heroes that you don't want to play against, Techies, Broodmother.
And then on the other side, C-Deck actually banned away Bloodseeker, another one of the heroes that I think...
That's a CTY hero.
Yeah.
And Darkseer is... ROTK is probably the most successful offlane hero that I see. Like, his Clockwork seems really hit or miss to me.
All right. Naga Siren time, E-Home. I would say one of the most frustrating dual supports that you possibly can have on a team, like Winter Wyvern and Naga Siren. They're just both so tanky and make others tanky as well. Like at ESL, we saw like the Glimmer Cape Naga Siren, which was incredibly frustrating to deal with. We don't see Naga Sirens really go for that anymore, but the Glimmer Cape Winter Wyvern, it just makes it so tough to be able to get these heroes. Still, though, they have double cure damage, so C-Deck, I'm sure they're still feeling good about their first 3 pickups. E-Home, they're much more stylized draft so far, I think. C-Deck seemed to have just like picked up the strongest 3 heroes that they could.
I think both teams are going to be happy with the draft, as odd as that sounds. you've got a lot of the heroes that eHome wanted in the first place, I think. Gyrocopter is a hero that YJ, I've seen him play 2 heroes this entire tournament. Can you guess what they are, Austin?
Say that again?
YJ from eHome has played 2 heroes that I've seen this entire tournament. It's been Razor and Gyrocopter.
A lot of Razor.
A lot of Razor.
Yeah, we talked about a lot of Razor Viper discussions whenever we've been talking about eHome.
It's been less lately.
Yeah.
People.
No, Viper's really fallen off.
Yeah, after the first 2 days.
Razor, we still see every now and then again.
Maybe all the teams had a truce. They're like, guys, Viper and Razor are so.
Nobody wants to play it. Nobody wants to play against it.
Yeah, they're just like, guys, come on, let's make a pact. This isn't fun for the viewers. It's not fun for us. Let's just move on.
The last big up here for eHome, they still need to reveal 2 of their cores off lane and mid, presumably, unless they shake things up really weird and have a Naga Siren core. And they already have a Gyrocopter, which seems super unlikely. When you're facing up against a Lina or a Queen of Pain, 2 different intelligence core matchups, what are the best heroes that are left available to eHome for the mid lane?
Storm Spirit.
I mean, Storm Spirit doesn't necessarily do well versus either one of those heroes laning-wise, but he's very strong mid-game, right?
They don't have... no, never mind. See, that could be like the best anti-Storm lineup I've ever seen.
Well, I'd say they have a lot of control, Blitz.
I just wanted to see the hero. eHome take Clockwork.
Oh
That's like
goodness.
the other hero that I've seen ROTK play a lot. But his Clockwork has struggled sometimes. Like he has an early laning phase that goes well, and then we saw the 6 to 12 minute time where it's really crucial for Clockwork to get kills. He seems to slow down.
I think part of that, though, that